Tell me about the nonfiction book you were unable to put down that explores a topic you never previously imagined you could care about. Bad Blood: Secrets and Lies in a Silicon Valley Startup. An expose on the tech startup Tyrannos that scammed investors out of billions and its stranger-than-fiction CEO. At home, Bill Bryson's history of domestic life. I love Bryson, but I'll admit the topic didn't interest me initially. Ended up being unable to put the book down. Sled Driver: A memoir from an SR-71 Blackbird pilot. Google SR-71 story Reddit for a taste. I came to this thread to recommend Bad Blood as well. Such a page-turner. How to Change Your Mind by Michael Pollan. Absolutely incredible book and topic. It has made me a complete obsessive when it comes to the benefits of psychedelic in mental health therapy. Cannot recommend it more. Botany of Desire got me hooked on his books. He explores how 4 crops, apples, tulips, potatoes, and marijuana leverage human desires in order to survive. It helped me see plants differently, noticing their features that may have helped them evolve. Would absolutely recommend. Another of his that I have is called A Place of My Own, about him building a small building. Great writing. The Butchering Art described the evolution of surgical methods from really nasty to modern practices with a focus on the works of Joseph Lister, the dude they named Listerine after. Things I've also recommended in the past: The Rise and Fall of the Dinosaurs, The Demon in the Freezer, The Ghost Map, Disappearing Spoons, Packing for Mars. I can recommend others if you want. The Rise and Fall of the Dinosaurs was such a great read that I now have to check out the others. Thanks! Before picking up Alex Ross's Wagnerism, Art and Politics in the Shadow of Music this year, I was only familiar with a few of Richard Wagner's most famous pieces. I was surprised how interested I became in the 700-plus page exhaustive overview of Wagner's influence on popular culture and society. The book deals in detail with Wagner's anti-Semitism and how it affected his legacy. Ross is an excellent writer, which made the book a joy to read. Even if you're not a Wagner fan, I'd recommend checking out the book. It's a great book and the intersection of politics and art. I work in a bookstore and unpacked a copy of this today. It's now gone to the top of my to-read pile. Me too! Hope you're surviving Christmas in a bookshop okay. The Boys in a Boat. I don't care about rowing and don't tend to love history either, but this book is fantastic. And the audiobook is narrated by Edward Herman, the husband from Overboard. Definitely recommend this. I also don't care about rowing or sport generally, but the book was fantastic. You know up front that the kid guy the book follows ends up on the Olympic team. You know they win. Yet the book managed to keep you in suspense throughout. Longitude: The true story of a lone genius who solved the greatest scientific problem of his time. Who would have thought finding longitude would be so difficult? Latitude was fairly easy, but longitude required very precise time-keeping clocks, which were hard to keep precise while on ships. Think open sea, rocking, salt water, humidity. Read on my friends. A very interesting book on a topic I have no idea about. Night Witches. It talks about the first female fighter pilots in World War II, and I had no idea they existed. They worked in the worst of conditions with the lowest quality planes and still were more successful than most of their male counterparts. Plain and Simple by Sue Bender. Very interesting story about her time living with the Amish, which is an unusual thing for non-Amish to be allowed to do. Seabiscuit by Laura Hillenbrand. Horses are beautiful, majestic creatures, but I never had an interest in horse racing, much less read an entire book about it. I could not put the book down, and it is still one of the better nonfiction books I've read. The Great Beanie Baby Bubble, Mass Delusion to the Dark Side of Cute. Ty Warner is crazy, and it's actually hilarious. Bending Adversity by David Piling, largely about the Japanese economy, but it works as a wider history of post-war Japan explored through the lens of various disasters the country has weathered: Fukushima, economic stagnation, cultural change, etc. Underland by Robert McFarlane is about the world beneath our feet: roots, mines, cave systems, underground rivers. Not so much that I wouldn't have cared about, more that I would never have imagined there was such a wealth of interesting things. Imaginary Cities by Darren Anderson is about architecture that doesn't exist, i.e., blueprints in literature, art, poetry, film, etc. Again, more of a I didn't expect a book about that than a I wouldn't care about this, but I feel this, and McFarlane also fit your request. Being Mortal by Atul Gawande is about geriatric medicine and how we treat the elderly in general. Really thoughtful and empathetic with a foundation of dedicated science and study.